Hello my loves and welcome back. This practice is going to be a somatic practice for the hips, the side waists and twists. So let's get started. You might need a couple of blocks during the end of this practice, entirely up to you. Let's begin with our knees bent, feet on the floor, lying on our backs. So before we begin, I just want to note here that if you're looking for a full hour-long class focused around somatic twists, a nice slow flow, then come join me on Patreon. This month I did a class that was a slow flow somatic twists. The link is in the description. So come onto your back with your knees bent, feet on the floor. Maybe you have the knees together, maybe the knees are apart, and just find a comfortable position for your arms to rest. And just take a moment to settle into the space. And take a moment to assessing your pelvis, the two halves, the right to left. Does one side feel more deeply connected to the floor? And then notice your upper torso, your upper back, your shoulders. Does one side here have a deeper connection to the floor? And as you notice that, is it the same side? Perhaps the right side feels more connected, or is it opposing sides? Maybe it's the left hip and the right shoulder. Just notice what feels more connected for you. As you notice that, then let your arms come out to the sides. Let your feet come a little wide here, and just take a little windshield wiper from side to side, knees swaying from right to left. And I'd like you to notice the movement of your pelvis as your knees move from side to side. One side of the pelvis lifting as the knees come over to the side. And as you notice that, then just notice the connection your upper body has to the floor and how that changes as your knees sway from right to left. So maybe as your knees come to the left and your right hip rises, does your right shoulder get more or less connected to the floor? Conversely, as the knees come to the right, left hip lifts. Is your left shoulder more deeply or less connected to the floor? And as your knees come through center, take a pause in center. Bring the feet around hip distance apart here and bring the hands up towards the ceiling, just above the chest here. And as you keep the arms straight here, reach the right arm up. Let the right shoulder rise and then let the right hand come back down. Let the left arm rise. Let the left hand come back down. And just alternate here. Right arm rising and releasing. Left arm rising and releasing. And feel that little massage that you get of your upper back and shoulders on the floor. And as you do this and you feel that lift of your shoulders one at a time away from the floor, I want you to think about the connection your pelvis has to the floor. Does that change as you reach opposite arms up? Is there a difference in how your pelvis connects to the floor? And again, if there is a difference, is it the same side that's lifting, or is it opposites? And you may even feel that into the feet, depending on your body. Do you feel more pressure in one foot as you reach one arm up? And if so, is it the same side or is it opposites? And the next time your left hand is the one that lifts, let that be the last time. And then draw your knees in, hug them in. Take a little rock from side to side. Roll to one side, push yourself up and come up and over onto your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers wide and just take a little bit of cat and cow. Inhale, navel descends. Exhale, navel rises. As you exhale your breath, draw the navel to the spine, sit back into child's pose. Rise back up to the hands and the knees. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, and just take downward facing dog. Take a pedal through your dog, walk your dog. One knee bending, one leg lengthening. And as you do this little walk of the dog, notice the relationship of your hands to the floor. Does the pressure in your hands change as you pedal the feet? Notice that. Settle in. Float your right leg up and step your right foot through. Now we're going to drop the left knee to the floor. So if your right foot didn't come all the way, give it a little bit of help. Lift your torso up and then take your arms and reach them forward. Bring your palms together. And I want you to think about just doing one side here. We're going to do the left arm, left shoulder, left side of your body. Left hand is going to rise past your right and then come back into center. Same side, left arm. And then let it come back. Now as you do that, if you're purposefully keeping your pelvis stable and square to the front of your mat, can you allow some movement? Can you allow some mobility in your hip joint here? So that the left side of your pelvis moves forward with your left shoulder. And as you do that one more time, I want you to pull that left arm forward, left hip forward, pause, take your right hand, draw it across your left arm, across your chest, reach your elbow back and find an archer here. Holding on to the bow, pulling back the strings here. Find your archer. Maybe your right hand stays by your right shoulder. Maybe it's more towards your chest. See how your body feels, and can your heart center be open to that right side of your mat? Take one more breath. And then close that space back down. Take the right hand across the chest, across the arm, palms together, pelvis facing the front here. Bring the hands to the floor. Tuck your left toe, lift your left knee, send your right foot back, lift your hips up. Take a breath. Float your left leg up, bend the knee, step your left foot through, drop your right knee, and if your left foot didn't come all the way, give it some help. Rise up, bring the arms forward, palms together. So again, one side only, right side, right arm. Can the right arm push past the left and then come back? Do that a few times. Can the right arm reach forward, right shoulder reach forward, and can the right hip reach forward with the right shoulder? And just notice if you have one side that feels a little bit stickier than the other, a little bit less fluid, less mobile. And as your right arm, right shoulder and right hip come forward next time, pause. Keep the right arm reaching forward, draw that left arm across the right, across the chest, draw that left elbow back. Be in your archer pose here. Archer twist. Strong in the twist, allowing that right hip, right shoulder to travel forward, left hip to draw back, left shoulder drawing back. And then close everything back down. Allow the hand to come through. Palms connect. Hands to the floor. Tuck your right toe, lift your right knee, send your left foot back, lift your hips up. Take downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths. Drop your knees to the floor. Widen your knees and send your hips back. Reach your arms back. Rest your forehead onto the floor. Next, inhale, push through the feet, push through the knees, rise up to kneeling, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, float the arms down, sit the hips back, forehead comes back to the floor. Do a couple more, just like that, reaching up, rising, opening through the heart space, releasing. Next time you reach up will be your last one. And as you relax back down, release back down. Take a full breath in child's pose. Reach the arms forward, come back up to hands and knees, sweep your legs around and come into Dandasana. Sit with the legs in front here. And as you find the legs in front, maybe the legs are hip distance apart here, allowing some space for the pelvis. Take an inhale, rise up. And as you exhale, take your right arm back and your left arm forward. Take a pause. And as you do that, notice your legs. Did your left leg get longer, doesn't last, than your right leg? Notice that. Are your feet offset? Did you allow your pelvis to move to release the torque in your lower back and into your sacrum. Did you allow your pelvis to move so that you have reduced the torque into your sacrum and lower back? Reach the arms up. And then take the left arm back and the right arm forward. Again, did the legs change? Did your right leg get longer? Did you allow the right hip to move forward? Take another breath. Inhale and rise. And release the arms down to the sides. Options here. You can take blocks underneath the knees, or you could just have the legs straight. Whatever works for you. But tip your pelvis over the femurs here, and then let the torso fold towards the legs, any amount. Maybe the hands rest on the floor. Maybe you grab a hold of your feet. Maybe you stack forearms and rest your head onto your forearms here. Take 3 more breaths. And on your next inhale, rise back up. Remove your blocks. Help your legs up and come into a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Whatever that looks like for you, just let your eyes close. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. And just sit here for a couple of breaths. Just noticing the residue left here in your body of the somatic twists. Next inhale, take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. One more big deep inhale. And a loud exhale. Resting here, body, mind, heart and breath, balanced as one. Namaste.